Thank you, Kaley.
Of
Hey,
course.
everybody. I wish I could be with you. And I think everybody who knows me, or if you don't know me, God knows I wish I was with you right now. It's been challenging. I'm an event kind of guy. I'm out in the world. I love people. And this is my only way I could communicate right now. So the reason I hopped on was let's see what we could do to get some positive action going in our worlds. And little background on me, the reason I can get to do this and talk to these people, I've studied with some of the best thinkers in the world, some of the best motivators in the world. Early throughout the 90s, my mentor was Zig Ziglar, and I learned a lot about motivation, self-talk, and all that good stuff. So today I want a little talk about what Zig used to call stinking thinking and how we can get through stinking thinking in these tough times and some of the things I've learned that I want to share with you. So as we go along, if there's something you need to know about me, my challenges were I share it now. I've lived a life of recovery. I'm 33 years in recovery. I struggled out through my teen years and my early 20s as a full-blown drug addict and alcoholic. And I get to share this now with people because I've been there. I've hit rock bottom. I've been through many challenges in my life, many challenges in my business. And I want to share what works for me to how do we get through things, because the secret of going forward now is how do we get through things? And that's what it comes about. So I think about it today. I was going to share with you, people used to say to me, there's a bottom, and Tommy, you're reaching up to touch the bottom. That's how low I got. But here I am 33 years later, beyond the dream that I could have ever thought of, getting to talk to you today. And the reason I get to share this is I've had many challenges. And one of them is I actually outlived myself, which is a fantastic way to look at it. And I'm blessed today with 3 beautiful daughters, a great wife, great friends, 4 grandkids. So I just want to share some inspiration, some motivation, and hopefully something kicks in where we can help one another. Because I couldn't be where I am today without people and the people I have in my life and the people who have just helped me. So I want to talk a little bit on how I could help you, and in turn, at the end, how we could help each other. Sound like a plan? Thank you. I'm sure everybody's nodding, all that good stuff going on. So let's talk about some things I have here. Hang on. Of course, my PowerPoint doesn't want to change. Aha. It's a great sound anyway. All right, so I want to talk about stuff that works. I put together some of these thoughts that I have in my head that I've always stuck. I'm a man who has many quotes in my head, and if you ever listen to Zig, Zig always was a man of talks in parables, tells stories, always things that stick in your head that remind me when I'm in a certain situation, how to get out of it or where to go and take care of myself. So one of the first things is, if you're going out looking for friends, they're hard to find and they're very scarce. If you go out to be a friend, you'll find them everywhere. So what I want to say is I wouldn't be anywhere I am today. I think about this, the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. I joined and I got in it, and Vince Egan became my ambassador. And he said, no matter what, one of the greatest things about this chamber is you're going to meet some of the nicest people in the world. And I certainly have. And I have some of my best friends in the world from the chamber. So the reason I go on and I share this is how can I help people just like Vince did me and everybody else in the chamber. So think about it. Go out and help someone else. If you're stuck where you are right now, one of the best things you can do is go out and help somebody else. See what they're hurting. There's always somebody doing worse than you. Keep that in mind. It's the one thing I always realize. I'm here. I'm in a great house. Got a house full of food, all the good stuff in life that everybody needs. There's Vince Egan. Good to see you, man. So never let your circumstances define you. Now, the reason I put that up there is we all have these circumstances. And I don't know who to quote, so I put the lady I heard speak. So it really was a quote from someone. I was at a Toastmasters concert. I was at a Toastmasters conference once, and a woman was talking about everything was going fine. Her husband just got a new job in Atlanta, so they bought a house in Atlanta, and they had their house in New Jersey, and she was doing great in her business. And 2008 hit, and they had 2 houses. Her husband lost his job. They had 2 houses, one in Jersey, and they had one in Atlanta. Meanwhile, he lost his job. They couldn't sell their houses. They had nowhere to go. And I heard this lady said, no matter what, we're going to figure this out. And I'm not going to let my circumstances define you. So it's one of the greatest things that stuck in my head. A lot of us right now have some stinking thinking. These are some crazy circumstances, but they're beyond our control. What I learned is right now, we really have to focus on how do we live life on life's terms, right? Some of us share the serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. See, right now, there's a lot of things I cannot change, but there also are some things that I can change. So give me the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference. So for me, I use the serenity prayer a lot. Let me define what it is that needs to be changed. Is it me? Is it what I'm doing? But give me the courage and give me the serenity to figure that out. And a lot of people right now, they're not sure. There's a lot of uncertainty in people's lives right now. I shared on another call this morning. Chances are you have it in your library. Chances are you use it to get to the top shelf of your cupboard. But there's a great book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And most of us put it aside and we don't think about it till we need it. Well, now would be a great time because Napoleon Hill wrote a great chapter on faith. And my mom would always say, no matter what challenges you have in life, keep the faith. So keep the faith. With hope in the future, there's power in the present. So we got to keep the faith that everything is going to be okay. Fear and faith cannot occupy the same space at the same time. So literally what I do every day is I choose faith, and it becomes a choice. I have no choice. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be frightened. I want to live in faith. So my thoughts that I share with you today is if you're stuck in fear, you got some thinking go on, we're going to go through things that can help us get through it. So I was in San Diego and I was at a conference where just like a computer has to change their hard drive. Every now and then I used to go and I would try and change my mindset, change my paradigms, change what was going on in my head. So I went to this conference called Psi Seminars years ago. It was fantastic. So I sat in front of a person one time and he said to me, go ahead, tell me what's going on in your world. And I started to tell him everything. I started to dump everything out. I was really cleaning out my mindset. And when I was done, he said, are you done? And I said, yeah, I'm done. And he said, well, I got 2 words for you, four words for you, 2 phrases. So what? Now what? Now, I remember looking at him and saying, I wanted to punch him right in the face. What do you mean? I just dumped out everything, oh, my heart, my soul. And you're telling me, so what? Now what? And I went back to my hotel room and it bothered me all night until I woke up the next day and realized exactly what he was saying. No matter where we get in life, the answer is we have to figure it out. So the answer really is, so what? Now what? Where are you? Where do you need to go? What do you need to do? They say if you want better answers, ask better questions. And all this stuff that I've learned now, man, oh man, I'm glad I have it in my life. I really, really do. I don't know where I'd be today if I didn't have the people in my life who filled my head, changed my paradigms about life on really so what, now what. Sounds a lot tough, sounds harsh. If you say it to someone, they're going to look at you. Yeah, it's easy for you to say. Well, it really, in reality, is the only thing we can do right now. So take a look at it. Is there something you need to get on, you need to get over and move on? So what? Now what? Many of you know I'm a big concert goer. I love concerts. George Harrison, one of my favorite people in the world. The concert for Bangladesh, one of my favorite moments. Everything George did in that. And I learned a lot from George Harrison. And one of his albums, All Things Must Pass, which is a great album to listen to right now. But one of the songs is Beware of Darkness. And why I put that up there is, think about this. When we live in the darkness, all we're going to get is more darkness. So we got to find whatever glimmer of light it is, whatever it is, what you can focus on, something to change, get out of the stinking thinking, right? It really is. We get stuck in it, but if we're stuck in the darkness, we're going to live in the darkness. We have to somehow, some way find the light. You have to. We want to go on. We want to live. So I find my light right now. I'm doing this, but I need people. I love people. I say it to everybody all the time. People always say to me, do you like everyone you meet? Well, I don't like everybody I meet, but I love everybody I meet. And I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. So when we're out there, see what we can do to help other people. If someone's in a darker place to you, pick up your phone, start making phone calls, start talking with people. See, people are what's going to make us click. Any questions, comments, snide remarks? Throw them out there. So I also studied with Tracy. And Brian Tracy used to always say, what you focus on, you get more of. So think about this right now, where you're at. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on being stuck in this? Or you're focusing on how you're going to get out of this? Right now in the moment, I understand where everybody is, but we got to look a little bit ahead. We got to do behaviors that are going to drive new behaviors, driving new results. It's really what it comes down to. I've been doing what I do for 30 years. I'm in the event business. Think about that. I'm in the event business. Everything I do is where people gather. And I have to rethink, what am I going to do now? My thinking was, people can't learn public speaking online, right? That's what I thought, because I was taught personally, hands-on. So my paradigm, my thought process was, nobody could ever learn public speaking online. So what I did was I created an online presentation skills program. Now, it might be second best to being live, but right now, second best is all I got. So I created that over these last couple of weeks. And it's really been something that's been tremendous for me, because now I'm deciding, what am I going to do to create a new future? We're going to talk about that a little bit further down the road. Kaley, does anybody have anything?
We just got a comment from Caitlin, who says, at the American Cancer Society, we have been refocusing too. Have some great things coming down the pipeline to help with COVID-19. Oh yeah, I'd imagine you really have to switch gears with that kind of communication there.
Yeah, hi there, Caitlin. Thank you. So attitudes, relationships, and collaborations. It's a program I put together, and Wendy has helped me with this over the years. It's really what life to me comes down to. Like I said, I'm a people person. I am no one without you, and I know that. And I am no one without my family, my sisters, my brothers. I am one of those people that I need people. I often share, I can go into Central Park and sit on a bench and watch people for hours. People fascinate me. I love people. I do it as much as possible, except now I can't go to parks. So everything has changed. I got to hang out. I got to do virtual hellos with everyone. But let's see what we can do. Let's talk a little bit about how we can improve going forward by using a different attitude, creating better relationships and collaborations. So everybody talks about attitude. I always think of my father growing up. If you don't change that attitude, mister, something's going to happen. Little when I look back, he was right. Things did happen. I had a poor attitude most of my life. My attitude was based on bad behavior. And I was really, really hooked on bad behavior. So I really had to learn to be a different person, because I enjoy bad behavior and I recognize it. So I have to be careful my whole life. And I've gotten very good at it. So let's talk about what a positive attitude does. A positive attitude lifts others up. See, we think it's about us. And one of the things I teach in presentation skills, the fact that most people think it's about them, me. When I'm giving a presentation, it's about me or it's about my message. But in reality, everything we do is for the other person. It's for your audience. How can you help someone else, right? Whatever you put out, you get back. I'm a firm believer. I studied with Bob Proctor. The law of attraction, what you put out, you get back. So me, I like to put out a good feeling, a smile, a joke, a laugh. Because me, what do I want back? A smile, a joke, and a laugh. That's my life. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. So for you, what is it you want to put out to the universe? And in turn, you'll get it back tenfold. So think about it. If you can put a positive attitude out there, the world needs it right now. It really does. The world doesn't need a group of people sticking together with stinking thinking. It's really going to stink up the whole place. So be as positive as possible. And you can do that by deciding what you want to focus on. So a positive attitude helps you see the good things in life. Right now, that might be challenging. But, if I really want to break it down simplistically, my wife's okay. I'm okay. My brothers and sisters. I had a friend whose father passed. I saw that. The virus got him. But still, we have to focus on what's going on good in our lives, right? You might not see it right now. Maybe you need a machete to clear the forest. But whatever you need to do right now to find the good, my kids are okay. My wife's okay. I'm okay. Everybody on here, we're okay. So let's share that okay with one another, right? As much as possible. When people ask me how I am, I used to say better than good, because Zig always taught me to say better than good, because people look at you like you got two heads. My goodness, better than good. How great is that? But right now, everything is just okay. So that's the way I look at it. It's a new okay for many of us, right? Take a look around. What is it? It's a new okay. But I'm living in a new okay, but there's hope in the future, which gives me power in the present. So keep focusing on what we can do when this breaks open. And I promise you, I'll be there for everybody. So a positive attitude restores your energy, right? Stinking thinking, the darkness, right? You fall into a depression, and it can happen to all of us. You have to be super, super careful not to fall into a depression right now. And one of the ways I'm doing it, I may be crazy, but I only go to the CDC website for my information, and I pretty much shut the news off. I don't want to see anything on Facebook. I don't want to see any tweets. I don't want to see them because I just want to find out for myself. First of all, I've always been that kind of guy. I want to learn for myself firsthand what's going on. I don't really enjoy when people tell me what's going on. I've just been that kind of guy. But so it restores your energy. So keep a positive attitude. If you feel good, you can possibly help someone else feel good, right? My mother used to use the phrase, and I use my mother a lot now. My God, she was smart. My mother used to always say, misery loves company, right? And I never knew what that meant. But misery loves company. So be careful who you're hanging out with. If somebody's dark, try to bring them into the light. Try to help someone. Reach out. Reach your hand out. It kind of becomes our responsibility. Listen, are things perfect in my world right now? Of course not. I had 3 months of gigs canceled. 3 months. Is it a negative? Sure. But I got to get through this. Because I promise you, as soon as I can, we're getting together. We're doing a comedy show. We're going to laugh together. We're going to have a ball. I promise. I'll be there and I'll put it together for everybody. But for right now, what can we do to lift others is the only thing we can do. If you're stuck in you and you're stuck in stinking thinking, get out of it, move forward, and promise each other that you'll take care of each other. This is how we get to be with each other right now. Improves your health. You know, be careful being stuck alone. I see Barb there. Hi, Barb. And, you know, think about it. Nicole's there. Hello, Nicole. You know, stay healthy during this time. This is an actual time to get out and work out, walk, whatever you got to do some push-ups in the house, but stay healthy. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, right? It can all get taken away from us in a heartbeat. Mentally, physically, spiritually. Boom, we could be shot if we let it. But the answer is to stay mentally and physically solid, and spirituality will take care of itself. You know, I work really hard on the spirituality part of it right now. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Keep the stinking thinking out of the way. You can keep focused on the good. It opens the doors to new opportunities. I'm going to talk a little bit in further slides about being open to new opportunities, right? People get stuck. And why people get stuck is they have no options. The only way I can explain when I do life coaching and things like that and consulting people with their stinking thinking, they'll always say to me, well, I'm stuck. And I had to discover what stuck really meant. And what really stuck means to all of us is that we have no options. So right now, what I want you to think about is when you get a pen and paper when we're done today, maybe you're stuck in what you've always done, but what other opportunities can there be? There has to be some. So start focusing on what could be different, what could be changed. Is change scary? Yeah, change is scary. I kind of got used to it. I've changed myself many, many times in life. You know, I've been self-employed, or as people like to call it, entrepreneur, solopreneur. I don't know what that means. I just wanted to be self-employed. So that's what I chose to do. And with that comes many, many challenges. I've got knocked down many times, and it might be a cliche, but it's not how many times you get knocked down. It really is. How many times do you get back up? So keep that positive drive going for yourself. Keep yourself going, keep yourself excited. And the only thing I'm going to say to you today that you can promise me when we're done is that you go help somebody else today. Somebody else is doing worse than you and you don't even know it. All right. So it multiplies hope. I don't know about you, but I love hope. With hope in the future, there's power in the present. So just keep the hope alive. Have faith that this will all clear and we'll all come back. It's going to be a different world, a new world, but we're going to adapt to it because that's what we do. We have to adapt to our circumstances. We have to accept the things we cannot change. And we have to have the courage to change the things we can. This might be the most courageous part of your life when you look back on it. You know, I've had many times where I had to step up and have courage because I wanted to change. I wanted to change who I was. I wanted to change what I was doing. So if we need to change, the one thing you're going to have to do is have courage. And I ask you today, step up and have as much courage as you can, because if you stay healthy, you can help others get healthy. So it fosters positive relationships. Like I said, misery loves company. So if you hang with negative people, you're going to be negative. If you hang with positive people, you're going to become more positive. I choose to hang with positive people. Les Brown used to always say in his talks, OQP. And I never knew what OQP meant. Was Les Brown likes to think of it as only quality people. You know, who do you want in your life? Only quality people. People who can enhance your life and bring you up when you need them. Those are the people I surround myself with. I'll thank everybody one more time. If you're on this call today and you know Freeman in the Chamber, I love you, because I built these relationships in the Chamber that now are lifelong relationships of everybody who wants to help me. It's crazy. I could have never dreamed to have as many people reaching out to me and asking me how I'm doing. And I thank you all for that. Kaley, any questions, comments, snide remarks?
Nope, not yet.
It's okay. I hope I'm doing a good job. Give me a thumbs up every now and then, guys. This is tough for me. I always present in front of live audiences. Hey, thanks, Kim. I always present in front of live audience, so I live off the feedback that I get for years of comedy, reaching out. Who's laughing? Who's smiling? You know, Bill Alderman, please smile for me. I see you now. Thank you.
Some thumbs up in the chat now.
Thank you, guys. Now I'm back to being okay. So a positive attitude is contagious. So really, if you want to spread something, spread some joy. Tell a joke. Make someone smile. Snap somebody about, snap out of it, right? Get people to snap out of it. You need to be that person who lifts someone else. That's the way it is. It's not about somebody coming and lifting you up. When you go out and lift up others, other people will come and lift you up. You know, like I said, my blessing has been you people, and I thank God for you. All right, so we're going to move along. What is attitude? This is one of my favorites. So I always ask the question, what is attitude? I get a lot of different answers, but the best explanation I ever got, if we want to change the results in our life, that's the last part of it. The way we change the results that we're getting in life is through attitude. But I want to give you my explanation of attitude, so possibly you can start to feel where your attitude is and where you need to make a shift. So to me, attitude is a combination of three things. It's our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. So think about that. When you take a look at what your attitude is, don't look at attitude as one big piece. Look at the three things that you can look at right now. How's your thinking? How's it making you feel the way you're thinking? And how are you behaving because of it? Think about that right now, the process I just laid out. Take a good look at yourself. Take a few minutes later and say, how's my thinking? How's that thinking making me feel? And how am I behaving because of that thinking? This changed my life. This is something I learned from Bob Proctor. I've studied with these guys. I love everything about self-help and motivation. It's always been a big part of my life. I have the 12 steps in my life, which changed my life completely. So when I think about this, remember, your thoughts become your feelings become your behaviors. Check on everything, but start at the top. How's your thinking? How's it making you feel? And what action are you taking because of those behaviors? This process here itself will change everything for you. One of the things I put this together myself. It's something I use. I call it the circle of responsibility. See, Zig told me one time when I was sitting with him, he said, the day you take full responsibility for your life is the day your life will change forever. So I consider that profound, so I'm going to repeat it. The day you take full responsibility for your life is the day your life will change forever. So think about that. The circle of responsibility. Everything just is. I mean, everything in this world that we're a part of right now just is. And it doesn't become anything till we label it. Do we label it a negative? Do we label it a positive? Where are we with it? If it's a positive, keep it, focus on it. If it's a negative, do your best to get rid of it, because everything just is and doesn't become anything until we label it. So I always give my favorite example. My wife loves chili and sea bass. Me, I can't eat any seafood. I hate fish. It comes out to the table, I'm like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And to her, it's the most beautiful meal she could ever have. She loves it. But in reality, what is it? It's just chili and sea bass. I label it disgusting. She labels it the greatest thing that ever happened. But overall, all it is what we label it. So our circle of responsibility going forward, the only thing we have to put in our circle of responsibility is we're responsible for our thoughts. We're responsible for how that makes us feel. And we're responsible for the actions and behaviors that become because of it. So think about that one more time. Your thoughts become your feelings become your behaviors. How are you behaving right now? Are you behaving in a negative manner, or are you behaving in a positive manner? And I will say this, the choice is yours, because you're going to take full responsibility for your life. So that means you're going to take control of your thoughts, you're going to take control of your feelings, and you're going to take control of your behaviors, because that's the only thing that changed my world. What I thought of myself is nothing compared to who I am today. You know, Bob Proctor always says, you can't outperform the image that you hold of yourself. So be careful what image you're holding of yourself right now. If it needs to be changed, change it. If the thinking needs to be changed, change it. You got to do it to move forward. I know I'm very passionate about this. I hope it's coming across a little bit. If I was on my feet right now, I'd be like on my hands and knees, throwing some gestures out there, because to me, this is the most important thing in the world. For God's sakes, you got to take full responsibility of your life. Don't let your circumstances define you. Don't fall into what your circumstances are putting you in right now. That's not who you are. Remember that. Think about it. So I wanted to put this in here. Many times I've had to recreate myself to who I thought I was, how I was behaving. So I want to share this a little bit about right now. If you need to recreate or create something new, think about this, right? When you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot. So just take a look at where you are. Stay green. Whatever you got to do, keep it green. Keep learning something new that you could apply. You see everybody scrambling now to teach Zoom and teach video, right? Because everybody fell into, oh my God, what else am I going to do? But think about this as we go. What are you going to create new, or what are you going to recreate? Think about that. Like I said earlier, I had to recreate myself. I had to change my paradigms about how I thought public speaking should be taught, right? That was my paradigm. It was my only belief. Has to be hands-on. Well, right now it needs to be online so people can at least do some learning. So you have skills and talents. What can your skills and talents do differently than you're doing now? Think about it. Even if you're good at phone calls right now, you can probably help somebody with phone calls. There's some skills and talents. How can you help someone else with those skills and talents? Right now, somebody needs you. Somebody's stuck. Do you have skills and talents that'll get them from stuck to unstuck? And even though I don't know if there is a word unstuck, but I use it. So it's not about what you're doing right now. Yeah, I just put this slide in today. It's not about what you're doing right now. What can you focus on right now and change? What can you improve right now? I use the word improve because most people feel like I'm broke. My God, I'm broke. Nobody's broke. Nobody needs to be fixed. Somebody just needs to be improved. You just are where you are. What do you have to improve your circumstances? So Zig always talked about be, do, have. You got to be before you can do. You got to do before you can have. So what I'm saying is, don't get caught up in the doing right now. You're a human being. Take care of yourself as a human being, right? Start to feel good about yourself, what's going on. The doing will come along. So focus on being the best being you can, best mindset you could possibly have, taking care of yourself. Like, I have no idea what the future holds, but I'm living one day at a time. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that when this breaks open, whenever that might be, that I am fully prepared to take care of everybody that I love. So that's the same thing I want to share with you. You got to be before you can do. You got to do before you can have. So focus on the being, and the doing will come along. But think about this. What skills and talents do you have that can help someone else right now? My question to you and my statement is, go help somebody. Somebody needs some help today. Kaley, anything out there?
Not as of yet.
It's okay. I must be doing a good job. There's no questions. That's the way I look at it. All right. So Earl Nightingale taught me this, and this is my world, always in my head. And this is the truth, my truth, the world I live in. Everything in the world we want to do or get done, we must do with and through people. Think about that. So if you feel alone, there's a reason. If you're feeling bad because you're alone, there's a reason. We need people. It's not so much that we want people. We have to have people in our life. Read that. Everything in the world we want to do or get done, we must do with and through people. So go help somebody else today. I'm going to move it a lot. My man Zig used to always say, you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough people get what they want. That's been my life. I just try to help people get what they want. Because think about this. If we could help each other create a better life, it's a better world all around. I don't know about you. I want to live in a better world. I enjoy peace and harmony and love. I'm a George Harrison fan, for God's sakes. That's where everything I know comes from, right? Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth. You know, I could sit here and quote George Harrison all day. Like I said, when he took care of Bangladesh, I realized that's the life I wanted to live. It's not about me, it's how we can take care of other people. So we're going to pass over to collaborate a little bit because I put here. But when we're getting together with people, remember, the goal is win-win, right? How can we help each other? And if you're going to work with someone, always set expectations. No surprises, right? People don't like surprises. If you could be upfront right now, deciding to get together with people, have a collaboration on a project, what can you co-create, right? Think about that. What can two people get together and co-create? That's a great way to look at it. There's got to be something that we can fit in together, a piece to the puzzle that two of us or three of us could co-create into a new business, a new enterprise, whatever it might be. But we got to start thinking differently. Remember, our thoughts become our feelings become our behaviors. Keep an eye on your behavior. Be open about everything. The reason I share this is I am an open-minded person. I need to hear things from other people. You know, I do work alone, but I'm surrounded by people at the same time. So there's a big difference. I work alone, but I'm surrounded by people. That's been my life. That's who I am. So hold effective team meetings. Don't let anything go by that people don't know. If you're going to collaborate people on projects, make sure everybody's effective in knowing what's going on. Any questions?
No questions, but some very kind comments in the chat.
All right. So any comments, questions, snide remarks, anything like that?
No snide remarks.
Oh, I love snide remarks. This is, you got to understand, I repeat that because everybody who knows me, you know, I thrive on sarcasm, and my wife's had enough of me. So I haven't been able to really do as much sarcasm as I like. I like to do it live. I like to have fun with people, those who know. So pretty much we're getting down to wrapping up, but I'm just going to, you know, go back again and think about it. You know, you're thinking, you know, the stinking thinking that creeps into our lives. It happens to a lot of us. Right now, this is a very, very challenging time. So I'm going to ask you to change your focus, start to change your paradigms about what's going on, take control over what you can, right? Position yourself for the future, position yourself to be different. You know, does something have to change in the being? Does something have to change in the doing? Right? Think about that. That's the only thing I can say is I know I have to change my being along the way. In turn, I'll discover if I have to change what I'm doing. You know, who knows? Who knows when events are coming back? Who knows? And anybody who knows me, I'm a concert goer. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a New York Rangers fan. They shut Madison Square Garden. They shut Yankee Stadium. I get it. This is life-changing. I'm not doing the favorite things I'd like to do in my life. So I'm going to close out. If you don't mind, Kaley, is that good?
Absolutely. No, that's
so if we don't have any questions, I just want to tell you a little story. I've had a lot of people in my life who've helped me. Fob and Katie, 33 years ago, I was down and out, reaching up to touch the bottom, completely didn't know where I was going. Like I mentioned earlier, and I'll repeat it because the world needs to know it. If I could help somebody, if I could reach my hand out to somebody and help somebody. 33 years ago, I couldn't see straight. Full-blown drug addict from the day I was 16 years old. I got sober at 27 years old. Thank you, God. But I walked into a meeting and I met a man named Fob, and he said to me, "My name is Fob. This is my wife, Katie." People shook my hand, welcomed me. My life changed forever. I never looked back. Never looked back. I realized that the only thing I needed to do when someone was suffering like I was, the secret was to go out and shake someone's hand, tell them who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. It works for everything in life, folks, not just going and recovering. We're all recovering. Someone's got some pain. So if you could help someone, shake their hand, ask them how to do it. But when you ask, not like in New Jersey, "How you doing?" We're not doing that. We really want to know how people are doing, so perhaps we can take them somewhere else and help them out. So with that, Fob, Katie, Bob Proctor, Zig Ziglar, all these people in my life. But I've met a lot of rock stars in my life, and this is my wife with the late, great B.B. King. We love B.B. King, my wife and I. B.B. King meant the world to us. We must have seen him 20 times in our life. And one time my wife worked it out to get us backstage and meet B.B. King. Now here he is, the king of the blues, the love of my life, everything about this man. Anybody who knows music, he's the world's greatest blues musician ever to walk the earth. And I get to meet him. So as you can see, I'm kneeling down next to him and I say to him, "BB, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the joy you brought me, the joy you brought my family. I want to thank you for the music." And here he is, the king of the blues. He looks at me and says, "No, no, no. I want to thank you. There is no me without you." The king of the blues looked at me and said, "No, no, no. There is no me without you." So ladies and gentlemen, I learned these lessons a long, long time ago. And I say it to you, thank you for being here today. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. There is no me without you. So my only thing is I ask today, go help somebody today. Somebody needs your help. And if you're on here today, please just go help somebody. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. I can't wait to see you guys. I really can't wait. Thank you, Kaley.
Tommy, thank you so much. That was incredible. Just a couple brief, announcements for the chamber. So please, I'm going to post in the chat our social media links. If you want to watch this again, we're going to be posting it on our YouTube and our website. So please keep an eye on that. Upcoming webinars, we're having one almost every weekday. Tomorrow we have 2 great ones. We have a New York Times best-selling author, Dr. Joel Furman, tomorrow, hosting Boosting Immunity and Maintaining Health Under Quarantine. That's at 12 o'clock. And then at 1:30, we have an NJ Employer Action Guide with representatives from Porzio. So both of those should be fantastic. Again, Tommy, thank you so much. I needed this pick-me-up, and I learned a lot from this. I believe Mike Stanzilis did have one question for you, and it was, who is your favorite guitarist?
Well, I have many, but I'd have to lean towards Clapton, always one of my favorites.
Oh, amen, amen.
But Billy Hecht is the greatest thing to ever happen on the planet.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Mike. All right, so if that's everything, again, thank you so much. Everyone, I hope I see you on more of these webinars, and have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.